All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Hello, welcome to this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit here at SHIPIT Nation. I am Eric, also known as TheGame on Discord, and tonight we are going to be previewing the Toyota Save Mart 360 taking place at Sonoma Raceway. Before we start breaking down Sunday's race, let me mention, of course, us here at SHIPIT Nation. And what I mean by that is promo code NAS75 gets you all access plus the SaberSim core package for just $24 for your very first month. What does that $24 get you? That gets you the SaberSim Optimizer, which is the best in the industry. Expert projections and ownership from us here at SHIPIT Nation, the Stone, slate plans, expert rankings, fantastic education courses by Tambo Hoop and the boys, and the best Discord community in DFS today. Guaranteed. So if you haven't already, go ahead. You owe it to yourselves to give us a shot. ShipItNation.com. Use code NAS75, and that tells them that I sent you. All right, let's go ahead and switch back over to this. There we go. Bang. All right, where's my notes here? There are roughly 77 Dominator points up for grabs this weekend at the Toyota Save Mart 360 at Sonoma Raceway. And you will have to check the slate plan over at ShipItNation.com for my thoughts on how to use those said Dominator points this weekend, as this video is a bit different than any of the other videos I've ever created or recorded here for ShipIt Nation, because I am recording this video before practice and qualifying. I'm recording this video on Friday evening, and practice and qualifying happens on Saturday afternoon. Why am I recording it on Friday night? Because my little family, we're heading on vacation for our first time in 2 years. Our little boy is turning 1 year old, so we are 1 year. So he's turning 1 year old, and we are heading to Walt Disney World for the week. So on Sunday morning, when you folks are building your lineups, I'm going to be driving to Georgia. As always, you can tag me in any and all questions. I just might be a bit delayed in my response since I will be driving the family car to Georgia. So in this video, instead of breaking down practice and qualifying and dominators and stuff like that, we're going to go over the entire field. I have wrote little notes for each driver, so that way you can take my words that I say about each driver and pair them with the slate plan over at ShipItNation.com, and you should be quite prepared for battle on Sunday afternoon. So let's see here. I think I organized my notes in alphabetical order, so that way it matches the stone on the screen, and I did. First up, AJ Allmendinger, $8,800 on DraftKings, plus $2,000 on the books. As I said in the video last week, the Dinger used to be the man on road courses. Now it kind of feels like he's maybe the 6th, 7th, or 8th best option, maybe even deeper than that. Still, though, he does have a pair of 6th place finishes as well as a 19th place finish here at Sonoma. So for 8,800, depending on qualifying, he definitely has upside. Next up, Alex Bowman at 8,200. Bowman has been mid here at Sonoma. How mid? Finishes of 15th, 15th, and 16th. Mid. Austin Cindric at 7,400. Cindric is a very good road course racer, but his last 2 starts here have resulted in a 22nd and 25th place finish. He does have a 5th place finish back here in 2022. However, he has not led a single lap at Sonoma. So I like him as a road course racer, but Sonoma and him, it just hasn't jived recently. Next up, Austin Dillon at 5,300. And I'm going to say it. Is this too cheap for Austin Dillon? Yes. He finished 36th here last year, but he finished 19th in 2023 and 11th in 2022. Do I expect him to finish like top 5? Absolutely not. But for 5,300, you're going to have to save money somewhere. He's probably going to qualify near the back. I'll take a shot on Austin Dillon, no problem. Next up, Brad Keselowski at 6,600 on DraftKings. Brad is having a very rough season, and I don't think that's going to improve at Sonoma. Next up, Bubba Wallace at 6,900. Nice. Bubba has never been great at Sonoma, which is proven by his DK price tag, 6,900. Nice. And his Vegas odds. Still, though, Bubba has been performing better at the road courses, and if he starts near the back, I would have no problems taking him at this price. However, if he's starting near the front half of the field, 15th on up, 10th on up, I don't want him. 20th on back, I'll take a shot on Bubba. Carson Hocevar at $7,000. Hocevar had quite the rough weekend last weekend in Chicago. Will he be able to fare better at Sonoma? Who knows? He only has one start here, which was last year, and he started 13th and finished 17th. Hocevar has all the upside in the world. He's been fast all season. Would not surprise me to see him qualify up near the front. Just like he did at Chicago last week, but I kind of need to see an actual whole performance from him at Sonoma before I can really recommend using him at road courses. Next up, Chase Briscoe at 7,900 and plus 4,000 on the books, which was surprising. Briscoe has never really been good at Sonoma. Finishes of 34th, 29th, and 13th. But the car he's driving has absolutely dominated Sonoma. 2023 Sonoma, Martin Truex Jr. led 51 laps and won the race. So the team and the car he's driving knows how to get the job done at Sonoma. But can Chase Briscoe hold up his end of the bargain? That remains to be seen. Next up, Chase Elliott, 9,800 on DraftKings. Why is Chase Elliott only 9,800? I know only, but compared to like SVG, that's crazy. Chase has finishes of 4th, 5th, and 8th, and has led 36 laps in total throughout those 3 races. It really would not surprise me at all to see him win this race on Sunday. Next up, Chris Buescher. Why is Buescher only 8,600? His finishes have been 3rd, 4th, and 2nd. And he's led 36 laps in those 3 races. Too cheap is a reason why Chris Buescher is was my thumbnail driver of the week. Like his average finish is 3rd at Sonoma. He's plus 1,300 to win, and DraftKings is making him 8,600. I'm all over that, no matter where he starts. C-Bell, 9,000. C-Bell has been mid at Sonoma, a pair of 9th place finishes, and then a 27th place finishes with 0 laps led. Still, we all know Chris Bell can win any given week. So really just depends on qualifying for him. Cody Ware, his at 4,700 on DraftKings. His best finish at Sonoma is a 32nd, which happened in 2022. I'll take the fade on him. Cole Custer at 5,600. Cole has 2 starts here, and they are 21st and 20th place finishes. I'm anticipating worse for him on Sunday. Mi Amigo, Daniel Suarez, 7,100. Mi Amigo has dominated this race back in 2022, led 47 laps en route to victory. Since then, though, he's led no laps and has finishes of 14th and 22nd. Will Suarez be able to find his way towards the front again? Now, what's interesting is back in 2022, he did that dominating and that victory without SVG. No SVG on the team back then. Now, SVG's on the team. And in my opinion, that elevates Ross and Daniel on the road courses because they have all the SVG's expertise they can lean on. So, depends on where he ends up in qualifying, but I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Suarez. Next up, Denny Hamlin. Why is he 7,700? I know it's Denny Hamlin we're talking about, but his 3 last finishes at Sonoma have been 38th, 36th, and 31st. 38th, 36th, and 31st. Even if he would be dead last again, I would have a hard time pulling the trigger on Denny, knowing that's been his track history here. Next up, Eric Jones at 5,500. It's hard to believe that the former Joe Gibbs racing driver is so dirt cheap on DraftKings, but it's true. And it's because that Jones boy has struggled mightily at Sonoma, with his best finish coming last year with a 19th place finish from a 38th starting spot. If he could do that again, great. But I think we could get cheaper than him with similar upside. You'll see what I mean here coming up. Next up, Joey Logano at 7,200. He was last year's pole sitter, and he led 16 laps in the race last year. However, he only finished 21st, and his other finishes here have been 3rd and 17th. So, I don't know. It all depends where he qualifies. If he's top 10, I'm not into it. If he's top 15, I don't think I'm into it. 20th on back, he'll be in the player pool. 30th on back, he gets some pretty hefty exposure. Next up, John Hunter Nemechek, 6,200. Only one start here at Sonoma, and it was a 29th place finish from a 37th place starting spot. He should be cheaper. Let's see here. Let me scroll down my notes here. Let me make sure. Oh, I got plenty of time before I have to scroll down on that screen. Where's my exposure sheet? Here it is. Next up, Josh Berry, 5,100. One career Cup start at Sonoma, and that was a 32nd place start and a 32nd place finish. I don't really think he will finish 32nd again this year, but I also do think his upside is limited. This is Josh Berry. Of course, he can learn and practice road courses, but he wasn't running them in his younger days or anything like that. So, top 20, top 15 would be a really solid day for Josh Berry tomorrow. So, or a Sunday rather. So, it just depends where he qualifies. Next up, Justin Haley at 5,800. Best finish was a 12th back in 2022 when he was teammates with the Dinger. I don't know if I expect that from Haley this weekend, as he's been struggling this year. I don't know if I see that this year. Next up, the cheapest driver on the slate, and my bargain bin play of the week, Catherine Legg, 4,500 plus bajillion on the books. Look, I have been guilty of this like the majority of other NASCAR content creators and other NASCAR media folks and whatever. Her first 2 races, one was, oh Lord, Phoenix, and then the next one was Mexico, and then she did Chicago. Mexico and Phoenix didn't go well. Chicago did. Chicago did. He was 2% owned in the major GPPs, and she scored 38 DraftKings points at the bottom of the barrel price. I would be all over that on Sunday. I have to assume she's going to qualify near the back of the pack again. I think there's some upside here. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking this. I could very, very, very well be crazy. But you will need to save some money. And at 4,500, she allows you to save some money. And she just scored 38 DraftKings points last week in a road course. Yes, that was a street course last week compared to a traditional road course this week. But she didn't luck sack into it. She was beating and banging along with everybody else. Like Chase Elliott nudged her out of the way. Caution came. She went up and drove into his ass, gave him some hell. Like, there's upside there. There's real upside there, in my opinion, at 4,500 on DraftKings. So we will have to see where she qualifies. Of course, if she somehow manages like a top like 15 or 20 or like 10, obviously not, right? But if she's all the way in the back again, whoo, I might have to play her. Next up, Kyle Busch at $8,000. Kyle's been up and down at Sonoma. Finished 12th last year, second in 23, and 30th back in 2022. And that 30th came when he was still racing for Joe Gibbs. So this is one of the few tracks where he has better success with RCR than with Joe Gibbs. I think his odds are a bit, I'm not sure what phrase, if you would say low or high, but plus 2,500 does not seem like a right number for me. And even plus, or even 8,000 doesn't seem like it should be the right number for him. He should be cheaper, in my opinion, because he's had a rough season. Kyle Larson's up next at 10,500. Young Money won this race last year and has an average finish of 8th in the next gen era. Larson, and I really expect all of Hendrick to excel on Sunday. Michael McDowell, 9,300 on DraftKings. I've said many times that Mike Mack is a great road course racer, and he is. His DK price this week and his current Vegas odds prove that. However, I was very surprised to see his average finish at Sonoma be 4th, which is great. However, he's only led one lap. So he's kind of up near the front, hangs around in the front, but never actually dominates. He was trending well at Chicago last week until I think he had some kind of issue, got caught in a wreck or something. If he qualifies well and can get the jump on, assuming he's near the front and he can get the lead, I could see him leading some laps, but that remains to be seen. Next up, Noah Gregson. Noah only has one start at Sonoma, and it was a 26th place finish from a 19th starting spot. I could see that happening again on Sunday. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at 5,200. If Ricky starts near the back, take him. If he starts near the front, fade him. Riley Herbst at 4,900. First Cup start at Sonoma, and I am fading because of that. Ross Chastain at 8,400. Was surprised to see Ross's average finish here be 7th in the next gen era. Has never dominated, though, or really led any laps. Ryan Blaney at 7,500. Blaney's only 7,500 and has finishes of 7th, 31st, and 6th. At only 7,500, I will absolutely take that upside on DraftKings this weekend. Ryan Preece at 6,700. Vegas odds and DK price don't match here, in my opinion. Preece has been having a very solid 2025 season, but has never led a lap at Sonoma and has a best finish of 13th. However, this season, his teammate Chris Buescher, However, this season he has teammate Chris Buescher, who has the best average finish at Sonoma. So maybe some of that knowledge will rub off on Ryan Preece, but still, I don't. I'll be shocked if he has like an all-around good day on Sunday. Next up is Shane Van Gisbergen, current road course king, and by far Vegas's favorite to win the race at only plus 125. This will be his first time racing at Sonoma in the Cup Series. However, He did have a start last year in the Xfinity Series, and surprise, surprise, he won. And he qualified for the Xfinity race today, and surprise, surprise, he's on the pole. So SVG is on it already again this weekend. I do think he will have more competition here at Sonoma than he had at Mexico or at Chicago because NASCAR has been racing here literally forever. So these boys and these teams know how to get around here. So I think SVG will have some competition, but still, he's the odds-on favorite. Next up, Todd Gilliland is 6,400. He had a great race here at Sonoma as he finished 14th, started 14th and finished 10th. Yeah, so I don't mind that upside if he can do that again. He's been up and down this season. I just depends where he qualifies. That's going to be a read the slate plan for my thoughts on Todd Gilliland. Ty Dillon, maybe some of the Dinger's road course prowess has rubbed off on the young Dillon boy. At this price range, it's all about starting position. He's only $5,000 on the books, only $5,000. If he starts deep in the field, take him. If he starts near the front, fade him. Ty Gibbs at 9,500, kind of like Tyler Reddick, who will be next. Ty Gibbs seems to be a threat at every road course, but he hasn't really put it together here yet at Sonoma. He finished 37th last year and 18th the year before that. Tyler Reddick at 10,300. Red Dog is a threat at every road course. In fact, he dominated this race last year, leading 35 laps, but finished 8th. His other finishes, though, have been 33rd in 2023 and 35th in 2022, and he started both of those races in the top 5. So, boom or bust for Reddick. Which one are we going to get this week? That remains to be seen. Next up, William Byron at $10,000. Willie B hasn't really put it all together yet at Sonoma. In the next gen era, he has finishes of 30th, 14th, and 9th with 0 laps led. It would not surprise me at all to see him come out and stink the show up on Sunday. For some reason, I have a strong feeling a Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet is going to win this race. Don't know why. I've been saying this all week, saying it literally after the Chicago race last Sunday. I think this is a Hendrick race to lose, and would not surprise me to see if Willie B won the race. And I think last but most certainly not least is Zane Smith at 6,000. I'm not expecting much out of Zane on Sunday. 16th, he has a 16th and a 34th place finish at Sonoma. And this year, he has a 35th place finish at Mexico, a 29th at COTA, and a 14th at Chicago. So, not expecting too much out of Zane at that $6,000 price tag. And that is my thoughts on the entire field. So, hey, that is perfect here. Let me scroll down here. Yeah, hey, that is everybody. So, that is the driver preview for the Toyota Save Mart 360 at Sonoma Raceway. Please make sure you check out the slate plan, as that will have my final thoughts, dominators, projections, ownership, all of that fun stuff. So make sure you check out the slate plan for that. And if you have any questions concerning the slate, please feel free to tag me on Discord. But I just might be a few minutes later to respond as normal because, like I said earlier, I'll be driving to Georgia on Sunday. So good luck in your slates. And as always, let's ship it. Why can't I play the outro? Here we go. Let's try this.